Mówimy już dzisiaj o potrzebie armii półmilionowej w Polsce. Oczywiście razem z rezerwistami. Kiedy patrzymy... Rozmawiamy poważnie z Francuzami na temat ich idei parasola nuklearnego nad Europą. Czas najwyższy, żeby Polska, wykorzystując i środki, jakie ma, a także doświadczenia własne, ale także doświadczenia na polu bitwy, doświadczenia ukraińskie, abyśmy odważniej spojrzeli na nasze możliwości dotyczące najnowocześniejszych broni. Rozmawiamy poważnie z Francuzami na temat ich idei parasola nuklearnego nad Europą. Czas najwyższy, żeby Polska, wykorzystując i środki, jakie ma, a także doświadczenia własne, ale także doświadczenia na polu bitwy, doświadczenia ukraińskie, abyśmy odważniej spojrzeli na nasze możliwości dotyczące najnowocześniejszych broni. Mówimy już dzisiaj o potrzebie armii półmilionowej w Polsce. Oczywiście razem z rezerwistami. Kiedy patrzymy na mężczyzn, będziemy starali się do końca tego roku mieć już model gotowy, aby każdy dorosły mężczyzna w Polsce był szkolony na wypadek wojny, tak aby ta rezerwa była rzeczywiście porównywalna i adekwatna do ewentualnych zagrożeń.
Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim her pushing his gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord, will live upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. Right, and as you would see, basically Poland, is gearing up for war, right? As well as you have a lot of these European nations, NATO nations, right, that are gearing up for war as well, man. You got France basically talking about a nuclear, umbrella deal, right? That's going to be basically protecting, right, all those countries that are part of, the EU, right, the European Union, and you have many different countries that are basically joining in, right, and agreeing, as you see right here, Poland is agreeing, with, that nuclear agreement, all while, I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was Iran that just denied, nuclear peace talks with America. So really nuclear war, right? World War III is in the making, right? As we see again, a lot of these nations are getting ready for World War III, man. Let's go ahead and grab this in Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. War is being prepared. Again, you see Poland is trying to up, right, their military size, and it's not for no reason, right? It's because World War III is on the brink, right? It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And again, right, Poland talking about, making sure that all Poland men, right? It says all Poland men, right, are basically trained, for and prepared for war, which that goes back into that draft, right? That goes back into that draft, which we know is coming. You had China talk about one at one point. I think it was a couple of years ago. Russia, right, when they first got into this war with Ukraine, they were talking about calling up, and drafting their reservists and so on and so forth, or bringing up their reservists, right, and drafting more, right? You had you've been having this rhetoric, this talk of a draft, right, within many countries the last few years, right, which shows you the time that we're in. As it says in Habakkuk 2:3, right, the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak, right, and it's literally speaking, man, right, that we're coming into a time of World War III, right, all these nations preparing for World War III, right, it says right here, verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, right, and those pruning hooks and those plowshares, those are all farming tools, agricultural tools, right? And it says what? It says beat your plowshares into swords, which means, which is symbolic for that switch, right, of direction, right, for these nations, right? They're at one point they're focusing on their agriculture, they're focused on their, building their economy, right, taking care of their people. But now again, they're not focused on that no more, right? They're focused on security, right? As they tried to say, right, this is not about, war, but it's about security. But we understand, right, what's coming, right? We understand that Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, right, is working on the minds of these leaders to prepare for this World War III that the Lord is about to pop off, man, right? Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart, right, which goes, when you go into that word heart, it goes back to the Hebrew word la, which means your mind, right? The king's mind is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it so whithersoever he will, right? So the Lord is ultimately, mustering the hosts of the battle, getting these nations ready, right? Which we're going to grab, right? It says, verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. And these nations are being gathered, right? It says, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, which is, going into these angels, right? The Lord sending these angels down to work on the minds of these people, right? But let's go ahead and go to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. And this isn't going to be too long, right? But this is ultimately just showing you the times that we're in, and we're in the time of war. As you read in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Matter of fact, we'll start right there. Actually, we'll go at Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That's right. Now, which is also, a precept brothers use, right, when going in on, things don't happen for no reason, right? There's a reason and a season and a purpose to everything that happens under the heaven. You get injured. There's a reason for it, right? Could be judgment from the Lord, right? You lose your job, could be judgment, right? Could be persecution. There's this reason in a time for everything that happens, right? And as of right now, right, we're in the time where the Lord is getting these nations ready, right? As we drop down to verse 8, right? It says a time to love and a time to hate. It says a time of war and a time of peace. And we're not in the time of peace, man. Right, we clearly see that these nations are that again at one point, right, see America as an ally. Now they're starting to pull away, man. Right now they're starting to say, hey, you know what? We can't trust America. We can't look to America for leadership, right? We see how everything's going, right. The whole world saw that argument that happened between Trump, J.D. Vance, which is the vice president, and Zelensky, right, of Ukraine, and President Zelensky of Ukraine. Everybody saw that, right? And immediately what happened, France sat there and came up and was like, you know what? No, we're not going to follow America. We're going to back Ukraine, right? And they got the invite. Zelensky got the invite to the EU summits, right? He's getting backing, right? I think billions of dollars, if I'm not mistaken, a $2 billion agreement or a deal between the European countries, right, to give aid to Zelensky, man, right, without America involved, right. And then the former head of France basically came out and said that he doesn't see America as an ally anymore, right, which is basically the sentiment, right, for all of the French, right, even Macron, the way he's been speaking, right, he hasn't came out and said it, but the way he's been speaking, the way he's moving, right, isn't with the U.S. partnership in mind. No, it's sole and independent, man. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're moving. France being America's longest standing ally, and now they're completely against America, man. As far as the moves that America's making, they're saying, no, we're gonna move this way, man. Which is all leading, right, according to prophecy, right? The 10 horns hating the whore, right? As we read in Revelations, the 17th chapter, the 16th verse, right? This is all leading into this prophecy, right? And I'll finish this off. It says a time of war and a time of peace, right? We're in the time of war, but let me go back to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. And I'll start at verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see, right? Babylon, right? Would you look it up? The elder apostle Gabar went into it, I want to say a year and some change ago. He did a lesson going in, who is the virgin daughter of Babylon? When you type that in Google, it literally pulls up, right, America, so it's widely known now, right, within the, the pagan Christian scholars, right, within the body of Israel, right, really within the world. A lot of people believe that America is that sinful kingdom, as the scriptures say in Amos, the 8th chapter. A lot of people believe America is that, So it's widely known, right, that when we look at this, right, when we're talking about scriptures on, Babylon, right, not speaking on ancient Babylon, right, but Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, right, the whore, and so on and so forth. That's talking about America, right, as we're reading right now, speaking on America, Right, continue on to verse 2. It says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. And see, this word has gone to the four corners of the earth, right? And it's reached, right, the peons all the way up unto these officials, man, you know? And see, and that's why you see a lot of these nations moving away from, America, and following America, really following Esau, Edom. Why? Because this truth has gone out. They understand and they know the atrocities that this damn devil has done, and done here in America, right? And those who are running this place, are ultimately, marinated in evil, man, wickedness, this whole, shit that's going on, man, Trump putting these certain people into play, right? There's so many things that, that we could talk about how this is, can play out, but we understand, right, that a known, consensus, if you will, right, about these people is they're evil, they're wicked, man. We could talk about, how Esau, Trump is setting up certain people that can lead to the persecution, that can lead to, the further destruction of the American economy, right? But nonetheless, right, the point is that they are still evil, they're still wicked. And a lot of these nations are seeing that, man. And this is why a lot of these nations are not really looking to America for any kind of, aid or support or anything like that. They're looking at America like, who the you? Right? Canada, Mexico, China, right? As soon as America placed those tariffs, they all placed counter tariffs immediately, forcing America to roll back some of those tariffs, man. Right? It just shows you America can't bully these nations no more, man. And again, this is all leading to the destruction of America, right? As we see it, the small hats going over there and attacking, Syria, right? South Syria, pushing out the Ghazians, forcing to cut back and completely put, the Gaza Strip, at in complete darkness, pulling back the electricity, right? They're going hard as shit, man. But we understand, right? It's part of prophecy, right? The least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock being who? Being the small hats, the 1948ers, those that are over there in the land of Israel, right? The JOOs, man, the imposters, right? And they're going to ultimately, as they are now, coming up against, the Palestinians, right? They're a Muslim people, right? Soon it's going to be, the Carmanians, which are the Iranians, the Persians, right? The rest of the Muslim world. And here comes Russia being a guard unto them, as we read in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, right? As well as situations as we're seeing America moving, and it's going to turn America's allies, to basically side, right? Not that they're going to be allied to them, but to basically stand on that side of shooting these missiles against America, man, with the rest of these nations, right? That already hate America, China, North Korea, Russia, and so on and so forth, man, right? It says in verse 3, it says, I've commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. And here's the point. Verse 4 says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. And this is what is taking place. These nations are being gathered together against America, gathered together against Babylon. They're no longer, looking to America for any kind of succor, man. Right? They're looking at America like, hey, man, you ain't doing what you need to be doing. You're making threats, right? You're making empty threats, right? And you might have the strong military, but politically you ain't got no power. It says Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua of host, Mustereth, the host of the battle. The Lord is getting everything ready, right? Lord is getting all these nations ready, man. He's putting it. Hey, the Lord's playing chess, right? The Lord is playing chess, and he's never lost, ever. He's perfect at it. And we're seeing these chess moves being moved, man. right? Verse 5, it says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, and the weapon is of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And this is the end game, right? The Lord, is creating, right? Having these nuclear missiles being created, right? For this purpose, right? Let's go ahead and we'll come back to this. Isaiah, was it 54 and verse 16, it says, behold, I have created this smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. The smith is going back into these scientists that split these atoms, right? As well as, you got the engineers that are helping build these, these nuclear silos and these nuclear missiles, right, for this purpose, right, of these intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. But mainly, again, right, those smiths are going back to those scientists, right, that are splitting these atoms and making, the boom, if you will, right? It says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, right, for it is a purpose. These missiles have a purpose, and that's to destroy America, right? Majority of these missiles are going to hit here in America. Scripture's talking about 200,000, right? And that's 200 million, right, nuclear warheads that are going to be hitting down here in America, man. It says, and I have created the waster to destroy, which the waster is those ICBM nuclear missiles, right, to destroy, right? We just read that. To destroy the whole land, Let's go into that word destroy right quick, man, since it's coming up, right? It's destroy. It says to overthrow, lay waste, ruin, right? Ravage, to tear down, demolish, unbuild, to kill, slay, to pull down, demolish. Let's see if there's some on here. Put an end to the existence of something by damage or attacking it. So the Lord finna put an end to this American regime, man. This American rule, this wicked rule. Right? The Lord is finna just destroy this fucking place, man. And we're in the time where we're gonna be able to see it. Lord will, man. We're gonna see, and here soon. I mean, we're gonna see this, Lord will. This is the generation, right? This is the generation, right? But Lord will, it happens real soon. But either way, we're gonna see it in our lifetime, man. Ezekiel, the 12th chapter, the 23rd to 25th verse, right? It says, for in your days, right? The Lord said in your days. When you go into NLT, it says in your generation. So in our generation, right, we're going to see the downfall of America and the destruction of America, right? Which we're seeing the downfall now, but soon it's going to be the actual and full-fledged destruction of America, man. Let's go back to Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Let's see if there's any more on that. Isaiah 13. Drop down the verse. That was really the point. We'll drop down to here, right? It says Isaiah 13 and verse 17, again, going into the destruction of America. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which the Medes is going back to the Russians, right? The Russians, right? It says, which is also known as, Ezekiel 38 chapter, Gog and Magog, right? Right, which is ultimately talking about the land, but the land is inhabited, right? By Esau, Edom. So it's talking about Esau, Edom, right? The Russians, right? It says, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it, right? It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, because it's going to be destruction, right? Any and everyone, man, woman, and children. When those missiles get shot off, everyone's going to be destroyed, right? Everyone. Their eyes shall not spare children. They're not going to care when they press these buttons. They're not going to be thinking about the average civilian. Oh, well, I don't want to kill this person. No, man. They're not going to care. They're going to press those buttons, and whoever, the Lord, sees fit to be destroyed by those missiles is going to be destroyed. Right? Verse 19, it says, in Babylon, which we know again, America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? And you look at that land today, right? That land is not inhabited, man. No one lives in those parts of the land. They're desert. And see, America is going to be made worse than that. Really. Because Sodom and Gomorrah is, ultimately going to come back. But I see America's not, right? And I'm not talking about, Sodom and Gomorrah as far as the wickedness and the people and so on and so forth. I'm saying as far as, that land possibly being built on, being inhabited, in the future, right? But America's not going to be, right? Verse 20, it says, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, right? You're not going to have these nations coming to America, setting up shop, and sending that money back, to their hometown and, so on and so. It's not going to happen. None of these nations, right, that like China or Russia, who think that they're going to be, at the head of the race to, come after America. None of these nations are going to get that spot. Once America goes down, a righteous rulership, right, is going to be established, right, with Yahweh Shai, right, King David, the 144,000 of 12 patriarchs, right, the 12 apostles, and the rest of the elect, man, and not necessarily in that order, right, as I named it, right, but starting with Yahweh Shai and then King David, a righteous rulership, right? It says, verse 21, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And see, America's coming to the end. We're at the end of America, man. Esau done hit his peak, and he's going down. We're at the peak of wickedness. We're at the peak of Esau's pride. We're at the peak of the American, power and rule. And once you climb a mountain, man, all the way to the top, the only way that you can go is down. And that's where we're seeing America go to, man. Right? And soon it's going to lead, again, to the ultimate and physical destruction of this place, man. And Lord, will we be of the elect? Hey, we're going to get beamed out of this place and see the destruction. Right? As you read in Revelation, the 15th chapter, standing over that lake of fire in those chariots, But that's all I really got, man. It's, Lord will is edifying, Lord will straight to the point. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakwadash, double honor to the elder apostles, as the bishops of Great Millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.